Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to Carmela's Art Journey, the journey that is ours. Well, I started already this little Western Bluebird illustration and already put a layer of watercolor, a very light wet on wet one. As you can see, it's not very intense, so that we can work with the watercolor pencils and colored pencils, which I want to show you today. So let's talk a little bit about this guy. I am using a 300-gram paper, and as you can see, it's very textured. So for watercolor, it is for watercolor. It would give you a lot of nice effects, and the more textured the paper is, the better you can work with the pigments, because the pigments will lay in these little cavities of the texture. But I wanted to try something different. Then I wanted to combine these techniques to get some interesting details. So that's why I started putting a little bit more pencil on it, some coloring on it, but you will see the texture of the paper will make it a little bit hard. And what am I saying with that? What do you want to mean? Um, it's hard, but it gives you also some challenges, but interesting challenges to deal with on how to cover the spaces where the textures are. So that's why I am mixing here in this illustration. I am mixing watercolor pencils, and colored pencils. Most of them are wax based, so, and we will talk about it soon, because I will post some videos about coloring, which is actually my main media, are the pencils, colored pencils. So we will talk a lot about that, but you will see that I have used different ones. To help me guiding with my colors, I put that white paper and the list on the side of my drawing with the main colors that I wanted to use. I added some other ones that would fit better or would complement those, but that was a little nice guidance for me to start separating the colors that I wanted. So what was important for me? I separated some colored pencils and some watercolor pencils, because I could put with the colored pencils some details where they wouldn't smudge, or they wouldn't get moved within the drawing, which is the difference where I came with the watercolor ones. So the watercolor ones, you will see more at the end of the video, how I apply the watercolor pencils wet on dry, so that I almost color and draw some details with my pencil almost dry. So now I am just adding more and more details, lights and shadows, trying to get the feathers textured and patterns on the feathers, so that we can get some volume and some depth. Enjoy it. Well, here I have speeded up a little bit this whole process so that you can see the development of the coloring and see the difference between before and after. And now I will start applying some watercolor. In this case, I am using the ink tints from the Rent. As I have talked about in other videos before, I truly like this series of pencils and paints based on ink by the Went. They are a little bit stronger than watercolor itself, or more pigmented, I would say, or just stronger in the nature of the media, but it works just as a watercolor pencils or watercolor paint. So doesn't matter what you use, it will work the same way. So here I am starting to apply very carefully with my almost dry brush, exactly there where I have already colored with the ink tints pencils, so that when I go with the humid brush, it will start pulling the pigments and I can control it. Or as I said before, when it's an almost dry brush, so you can almost also draw the lines and the details with the brush itself, just by pushing the pigments here and there. And you will also see that I open this brush a little bit to get this effect of feathers, so that the light traces and the light details will appear and sometimes almost fade at the edge of the bird as in the light, as feathers in the light. And you will see that sometimes I go with a little bit more water with the round brush, just a little bit, to kind of reinforce, to increase the shadows, so that it gets more depth, so that the contrast between light and shadows gets stronger, and to smoothen a little bit the patterns that have been left by the work with the colored pencils and the watercolor pencils before. Well, I think that's it for the moment, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you relaxed or learned a little bit. And please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe as usual. I ask you to do that so you help us grow and help other people grow too and learn more. And don't forget to stay positive. See you soon. Bye bye.